A lot of the times I get customers coming in saying, Colin, I want a trailer that is extremely well built, that's going to last a while. I'm going to be up skiing. Colin, I want to stay warm while I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I want to be able to run my AC when I'm out in the middle of the desert in Arizona. I want to be able to be comfortable. I want to be able to go off road. I want to do all these things. I want my wife happy. I want my kids happy. I want myself to be comfortable. What can I get? I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to be too small. This is the answer for you. It is the 21 RWS from Outdoors RV, their Backcountry edition. Let's start off with the comfort in mind. If we spin you around here, this is one of the most comfortable mattresses set up standard in the industry. I have yet to see someone buy an Outdoors RV and replace the mattress. Right above that, you do have all the storage that you'd need for any of your clothes with nice big hanging lockers. Now these cabinets are all solid wood throughout. Really well made, shaker style. Easy to open, close. These knobs and pulls I actually have in my kitchen at home. So very familiar. I love them regardless. Huge nightstands on either side. You do have a safe right next to your bed, keeping all your valuables stored nice and neat. Need some more storage? Just pull up on here and you've got a big basin storage under that. And split on either side, you have his and hers drawers. So you can pull that out and have storage there. So the comfort up in the bedroom, not a bad deal. You even have a blackout curtain or a divider curtain that you can pull across here. You've got blackout curtains standard, which if you're taking naps in the middle of the day, absolutely imperative. It gets it really dark in here. Up top for amenities in the bedroom area, you do have a max air fan option. If you don't get the option, it is just a vent. You can tell that the ceiling is a bit arched. They call it a cathedral style ceiling. That gives you a much higher head height. It's about 6 foot 11 inches in interior height. And that is outside of the AC. The AC drops it down to about 6 foot 9 inches. Now, if we flip around to the dinette, this is one of the largest dinettes in the industry. It's about 6.5 foot from end to end. So when you put that down into a bed, I can fit in it quite comfortably from end to end without being diagonal. So you could feasibly fit 2 adults in there if you're pretty comfortable. Now look at that huge window. Those are dual pane windows standard. It gives a lot of light. A lot of people have complained about the darkness of the wood in here. It's kind of a personal preference. I personally like it. They actually have updated the interior walls to be a lighter color in here to compensate. If we flip around here, you have the TV entertainment center. That gives you a lot of great options for throwing anything up here. You do have your outlets, TV connections, 12-volt TV, 12-volt entertainment, so your CD, DVD, HDMI, Bluetooth, anything that you need to connect to see your favorite shows. We missed a little bit of storage on the dinette. Again, with the quality of these, all of their slides on their sliding drawers have 100-pound hinges or 100-pound slides on either side. So it gives you a lot of strength when you are piling these full of all of your toys to go out camping. Not to mention that they put locks on these so they're not going to come sliding out. Do you see how deep that is? Most times when you have a dinette, you're only getting a cubby that's about that deep, or you're getting a pull drawer that's about half the size. Flipping back around, we are getting into more storage underneath the entertainment area, maybe blankets, maybe a little bit more of the pantry, another sliding door beneath that, and then we make it back to the bathroom. What's great about this bathroom location is it's right across from the door, the entry door. That allows you to go in and out easily if you're on the road and you need to jump into the bathroom for a quick pit stop. You don't need to put the slide out. Big shower in here. Little cubbies above the toilet. There's a porcelain toilet down there. Especially if you got a cold day, you got a nice heat register right by your feet there, keeping you nice and toasty while you're doing your business. In the shower here, you can open it up. Fairly big shower. I love the corner showers, and I've actually become more of a fan of these because when I shower, I can fit my arms into the corners, no problem. And in this, because the head height is so high, I'm able to stand in here quite easily. If I jump in here, Not a problem. I mean, I'm a little bit in a George Jetson car with my head up in that little bubble there, but I can still take a shower while standing up in this trailer. On here, you do have a little bit of a prep area around the sink. Nice outlets to be able to use. This one is outfitted again with the max air fan up above to get some ventilation, and you have a port for the AC, the ducted AC in here as well. Talking about ducted AC, we do have ducted heat on these. The outdoors RVs always duct their heat throughout the underbelly. It is enclosed and insulated underbelly, and you have the option of putting 12-volt heat pads on the tanks. But if you don't put the heat pads on the tanks, regardless, standard, you have the ducted air blowing directly onto the tanks. A lot of times you'll hear trailer companies say it's heated enclosed underbelly, and really what they're saying is they have ducted heating, and by association of having air moving through pipes underneath the underbelly, it's heated. They actually, in outdoors RV, will blow directly onto the tanks, so that heat exchange is much more direct onto the tanks themselves. Now this is the kitchen. A lot more prep space than you would think in this small of a trailer. A lot of prep space on the left, a little bit on the right. You do get a cover for this, so you can have plenty of prep space around the 3-burner stove with the oven down below and microwave up top. In terms of storage around, you do have each of these cabinets going very deep in there. You can fit real size plates and not just fake plates and glasses in that area. Nice little spice rack down here. Again, into more storage throughout the kitchen. Nice deep storage underneath the sink. Really well thought out in terms of keeping things organized. Pots and pans underneath with a locking mechanism on there, by the way, to keep that from the pots and pans from flying out. Now they have moved to the 12-volt fridge. That gives you a lot deeper, a lot more efficient capacity for your refrigerator. These 12-volt fridges are much more efficient than the 12-volt fridges of old. They're cooling down in about an hour versus overnight for the traditional two-way fridge propane. You can also run it going down the road, no problem. So let's jump outside and see what this 21 RWS has to offer. All right, popping out of the 21 RWS front door here. It is a nice sturdy ladder getting up there. They are hanging stairs. Now, why do they do the hanging stair style? It's really because when you're going off grid, you're going off road, a lot of the ground is uneven. And say, look at these Arctic foxes. You have to get the feet level on the ground. You have to have it hit the ground for it to be sturdy. And when you have such uneven ground, you're gonna spend a lot of time trying to fidget with that to be able to make it to work well. Now, if we come forward here, this is going into the build and construction of these trailers. They give you Goodyear tires standard. They are E-rated, that's 12 ply. Very well suited to hold this heavy of a trailer. This has the All-Trek 4000 suspension in there with KYB shocks. Now let's talk about the chassis for a second. Most chassis will be purchased from one manufacturer. They'll manufacturer will buy 10,000 chassis, and they'll configure different floor plans on top of it. Whereas Outdoors RV specifically builds their chassis in-house to be able to be balanced to what is laid out on top of it, what floor plan is put on top of it. That means going down the road, it is extremely well balanced. It's meant to hold what is built on top of it. And you can ask pretty much any transporter out there what their opinion is, and I can almost guarantee that they will say an Outdoors RV will pull better than the rest. Now, looking in here in terms of the build of that chassis, it is an 8-inch I-beam that is supported in between the channel of the I-beam with angle irons at every stress point. So you have it right here above that 4000 suspension. You also have it on either side of the leaf springs. So very, very strong base layer foundation of this trailer. You can tell there's not many bells and whistles. There's no outside kitchen. There's no fancy doodahs on here. It's really built tough to last long and get you out into really remote areas. Up top, even the awning is covered with an aluminum shield when it's all the way rolled up. That keeps it from getting torn if you're going in tight situations, or getting UV degradation when it's just stored and you have, the hot sun all summer really baking away at your awning. Down here, they do give you a fire pit connection, or what they call the fire pit barbecue connection. It's just a little door that will open up into the quick connect propane down there. And that's nice to have, especially where it's located underneath the awning, where your campsite's going to be on this side and your entryway will be over there. Now, if you look at this is a nice big open storage area for your pass-through, but it's not quite a pass-through. See that? We'll get to that in a second. But right here, what they've done to compensate, because it doesn't go all the way through, you've got a beautifully more ride sliding tray, so you don't lose anything in the middle of there and you're crawling all the way in to go get it. You do have a little bit of a storage spot over here for maybe a shovel or two. And again, with the insulation factor and really attention to detail, this was actually a customer recommendation or a modification that they did on an older model that was to put insulation underneath the bed so they have better insulation in the bedroom area. Outdoors RV saw this, a lot of comments came in, and they ended up putting this in standard. In terms of the build on the outside, they do have a aluminum frame on all sides except for the ceiling. With that arch, they do have a wood ceiling structure in there, and that is because when you have ducted AC, it is putting cold air against hot air near aluminum. That's going to create condensation. So that's why they opted for the wood up in the ceiling. Slam latches throughout. If you look at that door, it's a lot thicker door. This is 2-inch insulation throughout the walls, 1-inch insulation on the doors. So they're really trying not to skimp on any of that material that they're using to keep you warm. You had batten insulation from here to here, so you've got a ton of insulation value all around on this trailer. And if you notice, this is the nose cap. It's a molded fiberglass nose cap that wraps all the way around, so there's no leading edge. When you're going down the road, this is taking a beating. And with the molded fiberglass, it's a lot tougher going down the road. They've got the Line-X or Rhino lining on here just to keep it from the rocks really dinging up your fiberglass. But to have that wrap around, again, no leading edge. You're not getting anything forced into that edge going down the road. If you can see up front, much bigger propane tanks. It's 80 pounds altogether. You do have the chassis coming up into the hitch up here, which is actually a dropped hitch. They used to be up here. They dropped it about 5 inches to be an underslung hitch. That gives you the ability on a lot of different trucks to not have to put a riser on, which is a huge benefit, because those risers did put some dings in some tailgates back in the day. Now here is one of the big things that comes with the Outdoors RV Backcountry series. On this 21 RWS, it has the generator on board standard. Now this generator is a 3600 liquid propane. It is running off of your propane tanks up front. Extremely efficient, does a great job. Again, slam latch on there. You can get that locked. So it's all staying safe. You can stay warm, you can stay cool, you can run all the 110 outlets. It is absolutely fantastic. Coming around to the slide, this is going to be, they're not skimping anywhere. So even on the slide sidewalls, this is still 2-inch insulated. On a lot of different travel trailers, they might have full insulation on the traditional walls of the trailer, but once you pop out that slide, this is thinner than the rest of the trailer. Not the case on Outdoors RVs. This is still as thick as the walls, keeping you well insulated through and through. And they also put 3 seals on here. They'll have a squeegee, a seal, and a squeegee on the other side. And they'll continue it down below. You can go to a ton of different trailers and they might have the seal on the side, but not down below. Outdoors RV going above and beyond to make sure their build is above the rest. Not to mention, this is one piece from end to end on the wall, and they actually cut this face of the slide out of that one piece so it fits perfectly in the hole they've created in the side of the trailer for that slide. Now you might think this is storage right here, but no, this is actually the spray port. So when you have a line full of water in there, you still have an inch full of insulation to be able to cover that up. And you can turn the pump on there, and then you have pressurized water coming out. Back to the slide, you'll notice this is a Schwintek system. They have upgraded their Schwintek system recently into a metal gear drive, so they have been very reliable since. One last thing that we see on the slide here, again, to the build quality and attention to detail, they actually pull the framing, the aluminum framing, all the way down onto the shroud. So this doesn't go flapping in the wind when you're going down the road. Again, their attention to detail is in build and quality and not bells and whistles. On the back here, we got one sticker that says it all, 400 watts solar standard. You can option it up all the way to 1,000 watts of solar. This is a 2-inch receiver on the back. You can throw a bike rack on there. You can throw e-bikes on there. Just make sure you're not hitting that 250 pounds of carrying capacity. Fat ladder up to the roof. That is, again, a fully walkable roof. Plenty of strength up there. Come around to the back. This isn't hung. This isn't bowing. It is a solid wall bonded, vacuum bonded all the way around. This is the 21 RWS Backcountry series from Outdoors RV. You can always get in contact with us at apachecamping.com, or you can download the brochure link below.